So I want to start this video first off by stating that I am not a psychologist, nor am I a therapist. I'm just a normal guy that's involved with spirituality and likes philosophizing on the nature of existence and self and things like that. So what I'm about to say is not any sort of diagnosis. It's not the right way or how it is, it's just how I feel about this thing I'm going to be talking about. And what I'm going to be talking about is these terms in psychology referred to as depersonalization, dissociation, and derealization. I think dissociation is sometimes called disassociation. I just call it dissociation. But what I'm going to be talking about is just kind of what I feel is going on with those three things. So, to tell you right off the bat, yesterday I saw a post on social media, and it was this video, and it was this guy, staring at his hand, and the caption was, when you're just hanging out, and then you realize that you're actually alive, and he's just looking at his hand, and what it was pointing to was this, what they call this feeling of dissociation or derealization or depersonalization. And everybody in the comments was like, it's okay, this is just derealization, it's completely normal, you can talk to your psychologist or therapist about different medications that could help with this. Or one person was like, I get this feeling when I look in the mirror and I have to look away because it creates a weird feeling. And everybody's talking about depersonalization, dissociation, derealization, these kinds of things. Nobody was talking about how that is the recognition of our very existence. That's all it is. That's all it is. These things we call, and this is where it's my opinion, and it's, I don't know what the hell it's based in, but it's just how it feels to me. All these things we call I'm dissociating. I'm dissociating. What do you mean when you say you dissociate, or when you say I'm in a state of derealization or depersonalization? Usually, what we mean when we talk about those things, or at least what I think people are talking about, is they feel like they are suddenly aware of themselves or their life, their actual life existence. Whether they're looking at their hand, or they're looking in a mirror, or they're at a party, and they suddenly come to this recognition of the fact that it's happening, the very happening of it. And usually, I absolutely understand that when we get these sudden flashes of recognition of our existence, there's feelings of fear and panic and alienation and dissociation. These are where these words came from. Derealization is making it as though you're in an unreal situation. You're in an unreal space of awareness where when you're in an episode of derealization, you're feeling like everything isn't real. Or depersonalization, it feels like you are outside of your personality. Or dissociation, it feels like you are dissociated from reality. Quote unquote reality. I did that on purpose because with the amount of philosophy and psychology, study of psychology that I've done, and just the way that I look at life and all these things, first of all, it's not bad. It's not bad. What's bad about these things, depersonalization, dissociation, those kinds of things, what's bad about that is the way we feel about it, is the way we react to that very feeling that we've labeled as dissociation or whatever it is. That innate recognition of the fact, it's so, we've probably all done it at least once in our life, you look at yourself in the mirror and, that girl that commented on the video I talked about, how she was like, sometimes I get that feeling looking at myself in the mirror and it gives me a weird feeling and I have to look away. I absolutely understand. I absolutely understand. I'll be in the mirror brushing my teeth or brushing my hair, whatever it is, and I just look, and it's like, wow, like kind of like right now how I see myself. It's like that's what I am. That's a reflection of the thing that's looking. That is what I call me. That is Devon. Whatever the hell that is, and it's a weird feeling. And there's been times where I as well will look away like, oh geez, I'm just trying to brush my teeth, man. God damn, I'm not trying to go into some existential crisis just brushing my teeth, you know what I mean? But that feeling, the reason I look away, because it feels weird, is because it arouses these feelings within us of fear or anxiety or panic or alienation or, like I said, dissociation, and we feel the sudden strangeness and ineffability of the fact that we exist. You look at your hand and you realize, I am life. I exist. Holy shit, I actually exist. This is my body. Holy crap. I walk around every day and I'm just in this thing. I'm just alive, happening. You know? Or depersonalization. You feel like you're in a dream, or you feel like you're not real, you know? And that's a really important statement right there, because what I fundamentally feel towards these things is that we're touching into a divine recognition, what I would call a divine recognition of existence, of our innate vibrating existence right now. And it's strange, and it's weird, and it's dissociating. But what you're dissociating from isn't reality. What you're dissociating from is the conceptual model that you've been taught and are living out of. That model of who you think you are and what you think life is and what you do and what you like and how you spend your time, that is a model. That is a concept that we act out of and live out of. And suddenly when we see that, holy shit, I am Devon, or I am a person, or I am alive, or wow, this is happening. We're not dissociating from reality. We're dissociating, and dissociating, if you want to call recognizing something dissociating from it, then the word dissociating is proper. But really what it is a recognition of these different aspects of reality. In this case, it's a recognition of our personality, of our mind, of our thoughts. And what we dissociate from or recognize is the thing that gets all weirded out and freaked out and anxious and feels alienated from reality and feels like you're in a dream and all these things. The recognition is just a recognition happening within our very awareness. All of the byproducts of that, of the weirdness and the alienation and the dissociation and, oh my god, I need to talk to my therapist, I need to take a medication to block out this feeling of realizing that I exist, all of that stuff is that model, that conceptual model of who we think we are and what we think life is and all of that. That's where all that strangeness is happening within. And a lot of it's happened to me in meditating, what you could call dissociation or derealization or whatever. It's happened to me while meditating. It's happened to me while on psychedelics. It's happened to me while brushing my teeth, looking at myself in the mirror. It's happened to me while I'm at work, just doing my thing. Devon, the guy at work. I suddenly am struck with the recognition of, holy shit, like, I am, and noticing the dynamics of that, and my mind and my thoughts, and what Devonness, which if you didn't know is my name, recognizing all of the energy of Devonness, of I'm Devon, and I like doing this, and this is what I do, and I'm Mr. Spiritual. I like to meditate and all this stuff, and everything about my personality, I suddenly see it. And it's as though we live regularly within that paradigm, that concept of what we take ourselves to be. And this recognition is a deeper level of ourselves. This dissociation is a deeper level of ourselves, recognizing the finite concept and model that we live in. When you become dissociated or depersonalized or derealized, it's not a glitch in your brain. It's not an accident. It's not a psychological error to realize the strangeness and the mystery of the fact that you exist, or to realize the traits of yourself as an ego, as a personality. That's not an error. That's not a mistake. That's an aspect of your very being, which is able to come up above the walls of the maze of the mind and witness all of that. That is an available thing within us that we're able to do. And it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Like I said a while ago, the only problem is the way we react to that recognition. That recognition is as natural as a tree. It's as natural as the wind. It's as natural as your very body and being right now. Completely natural. Not a mistake, not an accident, none of that. It's completely natural. And it's also very, very, very beneficial and divine, as I called it a while ago. It's a transcendental recognition of our life. Because we're so used to just living in, oh, another day, another dollar. Oh, this is what I want. I'm gonna chase that. Oh, gotta go to work. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat. Oh, my friend texted me. I'm gonna talk to them. Oh, you want to go hang out? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, let's go here. We live so perpetually within just what we'd call mundanity, normality. We live in that cultural conveyor belt of just normalness, you know? And the ability to suddenly recognize your life and yourself and others, and how, holy shit, they're just like me. They're just this organism. They're just this cell that's happening, and they feel like they're somebody, and they're aware of life, and they're doing stuff. To recognize that is profound and so beneficial, because you're touching deeper levels of yourself. You're touching a higher, more transcendental point of your very existence. People get freaked out by that. You know? With all my philosophy and all my practice and work and understanding and experience of all this stuff I've done, I myself still get freaked out by that feeling of suddenly recognizing the moment and the depth of the moment and the dynamics of the moment and my ego and mind and others and life and how I'm gonna die, and it all just suddenly comes in and it freaks me out. And oh wow, I gotta distract myself. I'm gonna go play a video game. I'm gonna go watch a video. I gotta do something to distract myself from this feeling. But as the very famous statement goes, you can't run from your own mind. We can devise creative ways to distract ourselves from these aspects of our minds, like just, doing activities or taking medications that chemically dampen our awareness of these different aspects of our being. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's freaky. It feels freaky. And the thing that it feels freaky to is the thing that is being seen, which is the ego, the model of thinking, of what reality is. It's not bad. It's profound. And when you haven't when you don't understand self, Atman, soul, consciousness, awareness, ego, when you haven't sat and pondered on what these things are, and you haven't sat and looked into the depth of your own being, that is when these sudden feelings of realizing, oh my God, I exist. What are we all doing? Holy shit, all these people exist. I am alive. Wow, looking in the mirror. Wow, that's me. That is when it's going to be weird, and you're going to feel like it's some sort of psychological problem. Like you're losing your mind, or you're depersonalized, or all these little labels that we've put on this thing that we don't understand. Me talking about this right now is no different than a psychologist sitting down with you and saying, oh, you are in a state of derealization. What I'm doing right now is no different than that. This is just how I feel about these terms that we've given to these strange, novel states of consciousness, you know? I feel like there's nothing bad about that. I have friends that I've talked to who aren't involved and invested in spirituality and philosophy in the way that I am. And they'll talk about these episodes of, oh, I was in such a depersonalized state, and, you know, I was freaking out, and it was scary, and I was trying to get away from it, and I felt like everything was a dream and nothing was real. And when they say that, yes, I understand that can be freaky and frightening and alienating, but also there's a deep excitement within me, because it's shattering the model, the paradigm of the ego. It's recognizing the depth of itself, the miraculousness and the bizarreness of life. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. What's, as I've said multiple times, what's wrong with that is the way that we react. We have a knee-jerk reaction to these profound states of awareness. Oh my God, I'm insane. I lost my mind. Holy shit, I need medication. Oh my God, this is freaky. You know what I'm saying? We react in a very strange way, and it's because we don't know how to process these different levels of ourself. People that don't meditate because it's scary to sit in silence and just be with the mind, those are the people that get frightened by these labels of depersonalization and derealization and stuff. Those are the people that will say, oh, I was in a dissociated state, man. I was so depersonalized last night. You know what I mean? When they say that to me, what I hear, what I translate that as, is I was recognizing the mind last night. I was recognizing the aspects of who I think I am last night. I was touching a deeper point of my existence, of my soul, that was outside of the system of egoic psychological activity. That's the way I hear these things. You know what I mean? And when I see these kind of posts of like what I just talked about that I saw last night, of this guy, when you're just chilling out and you suddenly realize that you're alive. It's like, yes, exactly. Keep looking into that. Keep inquiring into that. That will lead you. I mean, it's so highly variable because everybody wants to do different shit with their life. Not everybody wants to become aware of the fact that they exist. But from where I'm standing, it's so good to do that. It's so beneficial to do that. It's so powerful to do that because you're integrating the different levels of your being. You're not running away from different aspects of your mind, your existence. You're not trying to block out reality. You become what's the word? You're at a disadvantage when you don't look into the different aspects of reality. You're running away from something. You're on the alert. You're trying to block out something. And I think it's more beneficial to digest all the different levels of existence. And existence is weird. I've made whole ass videos talking just about this alone. How weird existence is. It's not normal. It's not mundane. It's not whatever. It's a fucking mystery. It's impossible. That's the way I always say it. It's impossible. Yet here it is. It's weird. It's deep. It's confusing. It's a mystery. It's insane. Whatever we mean by the word insane, that's what this recognition is. It's insane. It's out of the mind. It's out of the mind. It's profound. And that's why it can make us frightened and agitated and scared and all these things, and make us think there's something wrong with us and we need to take a medication and go to therapy and that stuff. But that's just simply not how I look at it. What concerns me is, like I've said, the way we react to it. If you can learn how to sit with those feelings and inquire into those feelings and be with those feelings and learn how to integrate and process those feelings, I feel like it will do you magnitudes better than to take a medication or to label yourself as insane or bipolar or whatever. It will do you so much better to sit down and using the power of your own mind and the power of your sentience to just be with that. Oh wow, it's fucking wild to be alive. Okay. You don't need to go take medication. You don't need to avoid it. You don't need to label yourself as someone who becomes dissociated or has derealization or struggles with depersonalization. You don't need to go down that road. That's the road of Western psychology that doesn't really include these divine states of consciousness, that doesn't even acknowledge the depth and the mystery of reality in this way that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're blocking that out. They're saying, oh, it's just, they don't know what the hell it is. In the same way I don't know what it is. We don't know what these recognitions of awareness are. But I feel that it's not bad. It's not bad. It's freaky. Can be freaky. It can be... That's kind of what ego death is, man. That's kind of what psychedelically induced ego death is all about. Is, holy fuck, I've been acting like I'm somebody. Who is it that's acting like somebody? I exist. There is a free, liberated awareness of me, of I, of existence, that is one and merged with everything else, and it's not a thought, and it's not a feeling, it is. That's what ego death is all about. And that's what these things I'm talking about of depersonalization, derealization, that's what these things kind of seem to be on the wavelength of, or teetering on the edges of, is divinity. Divinity. This isn't normal. You're not who you think you are. You are very much so more than that. You are an ocean of a being. You are an oceanic being. Very, very deep. The entire universe is within you. No wonder it's freaky when you realize that, because you think you're just John or Eric or Sarah or whatever. You think you're just this thing. You think you're just, oh, I'm just, and I do this, and this is what I like, and this is my dreams, and that pisses me off, and all that. When you live inside that, that's when it's freaky, when you realize that you're not merely that. That's when it's going to be freaky. That's when it's going to mess with you a little bit. We should embrace those feelings of alienation and dissociation. And we don't even need to call them that. We don't need to even label them as anything. It's a level of who we are. It's a level of who we are to realize that we exist. The profundity of the fact that we exist. It's not a problem. It's part of who you are. And you can't run away from you. You are you. You are who's running. You know? And who you are includes all these different levels of awareness and being and conception and realization. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. These are my thoughts on the psychological terms of depersonalization, dissociation, and derealization. A lot of people going around saying that they suffer from that or deal with that. And I'm just here to say, I don't think it's bad. I think you're touching a deeper level of yourself that you should, if anything, look further into rather than trying to run away from. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you understood. And I will see you later. Namaste.